So since part 1.5 of the story of Honkai Impact 3rd is ending, what is a better way to celebrate it other than celebrating all of the different battle suits that our main trio Kiana, Bronya and May got during the story of part 1 and part 1.5. So this is what we are going to do today, and let me know your opinion about all of their battle suits in the comments section below. Which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite? Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't already to stay notified with everything you know about Honkai Impact 3rd, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and share the video with your friends. And without any further ado, let's just get started. So as you can see, this is our first trio that we got. We got basically this Kiana, which was the Valkyrie Ranger battlesuit Kiana, which was really awesome. Then we got basically Valkyrie Blade Strike May, and I really like the outfit, it looks so amazing on her. And then we got basically Valkyrie Chariot Bronya. This was the very start of the Honkai Impact 3rd story. These are the first trio that you use. Well, there is actually the White Comet and the other battle suits, but these are just at the very beginning. These are the trio when they become actual trio, because at that point they weren't actually training in the school. They were found by Himiko and then they were enrolled into the Santfria High school, and they basically trained to fight against Honkais. So this is the very start of the trio here. Now the second trio that we got was actually the following, and this time we got basically augmented cores battlesuits. So all three of them were basically augmented battlesuits. The first one was basically Void Drifter, and this one had the power of Herscher of the Void and Kiana herself as well. So she was starting to be able to control the power of Herscher of the Void, but she was still not in complete control. Sometimes Herscher of the Void would take control of her, and that would basically destroy so many stuff around her. So she was still not in complete control, but at that point she started to take control. And then after that she managed actually to take control of her, and she was able to transform into Herscher of the Void and use her power without problems. When we have May, she was basically Striker Fulminata. The outfit looks really awesome, and once again this is another augmented core battlesuit. I really miss the days when we got actually augmented cores for battlesuits, because that buffed different old battlesuits and made them useful again. So that was really awesome. However, these days we don't receive that. Instead we receive new Valkyries every single update, which is cool. Don't misunderstand me, I am not saying that it's not cool. It is cool for sure, but I just miss the days when old Valkyries as well became useful again in the meta. There isn't really that big of a meta, but at least they were useful against newer bosses and you could use them without problems. And then we have basically the augmented core for Bronya as well, Drive Komita. And I really like the design of this one as well. These three designs were just absolutely phenomenal. And they were only outfits for old Valkyries. It's just absolutely insane. Anyways, the next trio that we got was basically the herschers. Now we have all three of them as herschers, and if you noticed I don't have Herscher of the Void, it's because it wasn't actually a part of the trio. She was alone, so that's why I don't have her here. But anyways, we have basically Herscher of Flamesian Kiana, and this was the time when she stopped fighting alone and instead she decided to trust her friends and fight together with them in order to be able to gain the wins that they wanted, because before that every one of them had to sacrifice something in order to be able to gain so-called win, and that wasn't the win that they wanted, because when you lose something the win becomes a loss as anyways, because you lost something dear to you. So she stopped to fight alone and she started basically to trust her friends and fight together with them in order to gain the real win. And then we have basically Herscher of Thunder May. she went on her own story and she went to the Elysian realm. She met Elysia and she learned a lot from her and from the flame chasers. She changed a lot, like so much. She was, at the beginning when she became Harsher of Thunder, she was so cold and she looked like an emo girl. But after she met Elysia, she learned that just because she is a Harsher, that doesn't mean that she have to be evil and cold and doesn't want to talk with anyone. She can be herself while being a Harsher, and she learned that and she became the Mei that we know now. And then we have basically Harsher of Reason Bronya. She was able to finally take on the core of the Harsher of Reason, and she was able to take on the name of Wealth, and she became basically Harsher of Reason, which was really awesome, especially with the fact that her teacher is actually Wealth, and Wealth had the core and she was able to control that core and become basically Harsher of Reason, the third Harsher of Reason. And then we got basically the next trio. And the next trio was none other than the final trio. Now, this isn't the final trio in terms of the trios that we are going to talk about, because there is one more trio that we are going to talk about. But in terms of the story of part 1, this was the final trio. We have the Harsher of Finality, Kiana, which finally she was able to acquire. At the beginning, she wasn't that strong because of the fact that Kevin had also some of that power. But then when they defeated basically Kevin gave her all of the power, and the Cocoon of Finality accepted her as the new Harsher of Finality and the only Harsher of Finality for that era. So she became basically she became the full power Harsher of Finality, and she is now basically learning how to control her power, and she is growing stronger and stronger by the minute. She is now so strong that she can defeat enemies in different dimensions and so many miles and miles, millions of miles away from her. She can just defeat them with one finger gun. That's how broken she is right now. So she is easily the strongest character right now, or Valkyrie in the game, and that's why I think they are going to make her in part 2 just sitting around and basically watching what is happening instead of fighting, because if she fights, she is going to defeat any enemy immediately. There won't be even a fight. And then we have basically Harsher of Rebirth, Mei, which is really which was a culmination of her story with Elysia and the Flame Chasers. She was able to inherit the Harsher of Rebirth core from basically Elysia, and she was able to become basically Harsher of Rebirth, which is really awesome. The outfit itself created some controversy because, as I said before, Mei was known for being emo and not evil, but cold and doesn't want to talk with anyone. But as I said before, once she met Elysia, she changed a lot. And the people who thought that she would stay the same even after meeting Elysia were actually just completely ignoring the story and the character development that Mei went through throughout her story in the Elysian realm. And then we have Harsher of Truth, Bronya. She finally managed to unlock the full potential of the basically Harsher of Reason core, and she was able to transform into Harsher of Truth. It was with the help of her, who was acting as if she is against them, she is fighting against them, but in reality she was helping them, all of them, to be able to maximize their power before they go to the fight against Kevin, because Kevin himself didn't want actually to win against them, but he wanted to show them what big danger they are going to be in, and that's why he went full on them. But he tried his best to let them maximize their power and learn a lot before fighting him, so that they would be able to defeat him, hopefully. And if they defeat him, then they can defeat any other threat that comes to them. So this was a very beautiful culmination to the story of part 1. We managed to reach basically the finality for all 3 of them, and they became so amazing, just like angels for part 1. Now, the final forms that we have for now of this trio, and that is a post-honkai Odyssey. Now, obviously, Kiana isn't going to change because she has now the power of Hersher of Finality, and I think that she isn't going to even grow older unless she wants to, because the fact that she has the power of Finality means that she has actually the power over time as well. So if she doesn't want to, she will never grow up. She will never grow up. So that is a very awesome ability to have. Then we have Mei from a post-honkai Odyssey, and we have Bronya from a post-honkai Odyssey. Both of them has grew up way more noticeably than what Kiana did, and as you can see, they became basically captains for divisions, and they are going to teach the new generation how to fight and how to protect Earth. Kiana herself as well is going actually to teach a division, and it seems that the 2 Valkyries that she is going to train are the two new Valkyries, Helia and Karoli, who are going to be basically the main characters for part 2 of the Honkai Impact 3rd story. So that is really awesome. I really like the fact that they went with this trio and where they reached with them, and all of the stories that we went through as well. As I said before, let me know your opinion about all of their battle suits, which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that they can enjoy it too. And if you got any useful information from this video, or if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe my channel and turn on the notification bell beside it so that you stay notified with everything new about Honkai Impact 3rd. And with that being said, see you as always in the next video of Honkai Impact.